Hello, Waldport. Thanks for joining us for this installment of Waldport Weekly.
Upcoming gas prices, a look at what's in Waldport, and more coming your way.
The Waldport Weekly starts now.
If you drive, you've probably noticed how high gas prices are getting. Gracie and Dale took a deep dive into why that is.
Throughout the U.S., gas prices have been rising exponentially due to several economic and global factors. One major reason is oil prices caused by the conflict in the Middle East, which has disrupted our oil supply and pushed oil prices above $100 per barrel. As a result, the national average price for gasoline has risen to around $3.50 per gallon to up to $3.60 per gallon, increasing significantly over the past few weeks. The average price of gasoline in Lincoln County has raised to $4.40 up to $4.50 per gallon. And this is Dale Gallagher reporting.
As you may know, the district has been dealing with upcoming budget cuts for the 2026-2027 school year. Zoran King brings us more.
The Lincoln County School District is facing a $5 million budget deficit for the 2026 to 2027 school year. District officials say the shortfall is mainly caused by declining student enrollment, which reduces state funding for schools. The district has dropped to around 4,900 students and is losing roughly 100 students each year. This has been an ongoing trend for almost a decade. Pre-COVID population was around 5,600 students in the county. Because Oregon funds schools based on enrollment, fewer students means less money for the district. To balance the budget, the district is considering cutting up to 19 staff positions and reducing or eliminating some programs, including certain career preparation programs. Officials say they cannot rely on reserve funds again, so permanent cuts will likely be needed. This will primarily be done through staff cuts, since staff employment takes up a large portion of the budget.
I really don't think the district budget cuts will affect Waldport that much in terms of like what you see in your day-to-day operations in the day-to-day classroom. There might be a couple clubs that may not exist, but I think most things are going to stay solid.
What makes you so sure about that?
Well, in general, the day-to-day school operations, there is a budget for that, so there might be like less paper, but I think we'll really be fine. The big thing to worry about is people and their jobs. That's mainly what is affected by these budget cuts. And I don't think we're going to lose anyone at Waldport because we have such a tight-knit school.
District-wide, we are losing some administration staff. We are losing positions, not people, just through natural attrition. We do have one staff member that is choosing to go half-time next year, so we will naturally absorb that. But otherwise, we should not see too much of an effect here down in Waldport.
I do not think students are going to be affected by these budget cuts almost at all. The only thing that we might see is that athletes will have to pay more on a fee, maybe for like sports fees, potentially, and that's also in question.
Well, statewide, the birth rates are down, so that's a lot of it. But I think with COVID, there's about 30,000 students that left Oregon.
It is student enrollment, so there's less and less kids joining the district. And so we're not really seeing it as much in the middle and high school. We are a little bit with a couple classes, but in general, it's at the elementary school where there's less students going to schools here in Lincoln County.
How do you think we can increase those enrollment rates to not lose our budget?
Well, there has to be more people to move here. There has to be more jobs in kind of the county, on the coast. Also, I don't know what the levels are of homeschool compared to actual schooling is. Just trying to get people to send their kids to school rather than homeschooling their students. And so really advertising and showing how our district is effective at teaching kids.
A lot of parents choose to homeschool their kids in elementary and then send them back. For example, the incoming 7th grade class next year is fairly small, but we're already getting phone calls of kids coming back next year. So that plays a factor in it as well.
Levi, have you ever been to Waldport?
No, seems kind of boring to me.
It is, but they're bringing a new golf course.
Are you bored at home and looking for something to do? The mini golf course downtown is finally open. The hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, but may be closed due to inclement weather. So check the website before you head out. However, construction is not done. They plan on building a playground, bathrooms, and 2 open-air pavilions. One will store 4 food carts, including a pizza cart. The other pavilion is for seating to enjoy your meal. They're also building 11 geodesic domes for visitors to camp in and will feature private showers and laundry. William Thomas reporting.
Video games have come a long way in recent years. Here's Ami Kilduff to give us his next game review.
Welcome to New Game Plus, where we take another look at some of the newest games. Today we're reviewing the newest Pokemon game. Not that one, not Pokopia. Sorry, guys. Second newest Pokemon game. Pokemon Legends ZA released it back in October, so we're not that late to this, but, well, minor spoiler warning now if you're planning on playing the game but haven't yet. The game brings us back to the Kalos region, last seen in Pokemon X and Y from, 13 years ago? Wow, okay. Anyway, the plot revolves around the player joining a street Pokemon battle tournament called ZA Royale, working your way up the ranks while also having to fight off Pokemon undergoing Rogue Mega Evolution. That said, it's now 5x5 time. First off, we have ease of play. Well, it's a Pokemon game, so for the first hour or so, you're being given tutorials pretty much the whole time. It's relatively easy, but some of the Rogue Mega battles are pretty difficult, especially near the end. Other than that, the game is rather easy, 4 out of 5 for difficulty. Next up is visuals. There was quite a bit of controversy online about a specific detail in the game. See if you can spot it in this image. If you can't see it, take a look at the buildings. There's balconies left flat on the building, almost painted on looking. Many people have complained about it looking like an early 2010s game. But other than that, the character designs and things you're supposed to pay attention to look pretty good. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 for graphics. Moving along, we have the soundtrack. And whoa, did this game not disappoint. Check this out. And this. And this. Oh, and definitely this one. Do I need to explain how good these are? 5 out of 5. Now... Okay, next up is gameplay. This game forgoes the classic turn-based battles of the core games and instead trades it for a more action-based system where dodging and timing are key. Your Pokemon will move around independently during battle, which means, yes, just dodge it is now possible in the games. Given your Pokemon are rather bad at dodging and listening and following, so chances are they're going to get hit anyway. 4 out of 5 for gameplay. Finally, we're on value. On the Switch 1, the game is $60, but buying it for the Switch 2 costs an extra $10, however that features better resolution and frame rates. However, you don't have to buy the Switch 2 version in order to play the game on the console, though I do think it's worth it. The DLC, Mega Dimension, is also worth it, as it adds a new story mode, which is pretty fun, and the Hyperspace Distortions provide some much-needed challenge to the game. 5 out of 5 for value across the game. So overall, the game receives a rating of 21 out of 25. I will say this is one of my favorite games of all time, so maybe I'm a little biased. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to New Game Plus. Now back to you guys.
Our spring sports are in full swing, and Sylvie Hood brings us up to date on the softball and baseball teams.
As we all know, spring sports have already started. Last year, our spring sports team put a lot of effort into their sports and their teams as a whole. Now that a new season is underway, let's check in with this year's baseball and softball players to see how they're feeling about the upcoming season and what they're most excited for.
I'm Sylvie Hood, and I'm here with
Austin Kwan.
Alexis McFarlane.
How did last season go?
Last season was pretty good. We had a lot of girls joining, and we had a lot of new girls, a lot of girls who were seniors, and we had to let go of them. But overall, it was a good season.
How did last season go?
It went good. I mean, I feel like we could have done better. We didn't really have a lot of discipline. Probably the sport with the least amount of discipline. Not really a lot of running at all. But yeah, I feel like we could have done better.
How are you feeling about this season?
The season, I really like that we have Coach Walsh involved now. He makes us run, which I think is good. The more you run, the better you are, in my opinion. Also, Jorge's opinion. Also, I just feel like because we have Coach Walsh, we'll be much more disciplined. Discipline wins games.
This season, I'm really excited for this season because we have a lot of freshmen and it's very exciting. And we have Coach Bree as our head coach again and Bo as another coach, which is really nice.
How do you think that you will do?
I think I've improved a lot, so I think I'm going to do good.
How do you think that you will do as an individual?
I'm great. I'm doing great this season. I feel pumped.
What are you most excited for this season?
I feel like we have a chance with, actually winning most of our games this season. I feel like it'll be good to have a winning streak. We haven't had one in a while.
I'm excited to win more games. I'm excited to win games. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
This is Sylvie Hood reporting.
That's all the news we have for you today.
Thanks for watching, and remember to tune in next time for the
Waldport Weekly.